Now, from the home of golf, EA Sports, so proud to welcome you to the old course at St. Andrews.
Subscribe.
Rich Lerner up in the tower, pleased to be joined as always by Frank Novelo. And Frank, we cannot talk about the old course without talking about bunkers. 112 of them in all. We know they can derail around, so what's the key to avoiding them?
You just mentioned it, really avoid those bunkers. They're beautifully positioned. If they're downwind, you'd be surprised. The ball can run 60 or 70 yards. So you might be wondering why that bunker's down there, and then all of a sudden you find it. So just keep your eyes open. But yeah, hey, it's a beautiful walk, and that's really the way golf was invented and should be played, especially at St. Andrews.
Oh no. Oh, and that will run all the way through the fairway and into the burn here at 1. An early mistake off the tee. Okay, so the drop taken, and that will set up what's going to be his third now to this par 4.
Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Might have overread it just a bit, and it stayed out wide left of the hole. So a less than ideal start. The missed putt for par going to yield an opening bogey. Well, here you get a real taste of what the old course will be all about. The double greens, the 411-yard par 4 second. The ideal spot, you want to be just to the right. There's so many famous bunkers here, but this one is well known. It's called Cheap's Bunker.
And so misses the fairway on the second hole. Add to that the bogey at the first. This is far from a dream start.
So from the rough, here's his second at 2. This one looks right on point.
Oh, it was a good strike. I could tell that by the sound as the ball came off the club face. That little bounce and check, well done.
A chance now to get back to even here at 2. It's for birdie. Yeah, nice roll right there. It's a 3 here at the second, and that will counteract that opening bogey, get him back on level terms. At the third hole now, Frank, it looks relatively easy, but you know there's some danger lurking somewhere out there on the old course.
There is. There's the pot bunkers down the right side. This is a tee where really you want to have an idea where that wind is coming from. If it's into your face, you might want to be a little cautious and go towards the middle of the golf course. But if it's behind you, well, then it's worth challenging that right side.
And that's going to wind up a little straighter than the first 2 drives. It's in the fairway here at 3. So from a little more than 70 yards, this is second. and that's going to leave some work, but it'll end up okay. Nota Begay down on 3 green to look at this putt for birdie.
And so often players can focus so much on the break they forget about the slope. This has to be hit a little firmer than normal.
Nope, didn't play enough of the break, and that'll be short as well. So after an up and down start, a birdie at the first, followed by a bogey at the second, this a little more straightforward par at the third. Frank, the challenge begins to intensify here at the fourth.
Yeah, a bit risky if you try and hit it down the right side. Just about every player I've seen over the years has sort of aired a little bit to the left. That's a safer tee shot, but it does set up a very daunting second.
And no issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. I'm thinking this is about 110 yards, Frank.
Nice approach shot, and the other good thing about that, left it below the hole.
12 feet still to go. The line perfect there. That's in for a birdie. We come now to the fifth, the first par 5 on the front side here at St. Andrews. 514-yard hole that ends at a green that is 100 yards deep. Avoid the Seven Sisters bunkers off the tee, and reaching into is a possibility if the weather cooperates. A little too much roll on the back end there, and this is going to wind up diving into the heavy stuff. That is a marvelous shot. Look at that, Frank. You know, sometimes on a par 5, you're happy to just be home. Maybe 50, 60 feet away, you take your 2 putts and move on. Here, you're thinking about eagle, getting out of there with a 3.
Yeah, just imagine if he can roll this one in. What a well-played hole it will be.
Maybe you look to the heavens here. That didn't need much more. Okay, nothing to it. Nice work there. It's a birdie, and it moves him to 2 under on the round. And you gotta love the names of the bunkers here, don't you? They tell you all you need to know. Those coffin bunkers, you hit it in there, you're dead.
Subscribe.
Beautiful tempo to that swing, and this is going to wind up squarely in the fairway. From well down the fairway, this a bit of a tricky distance for his second. Well, it's on, but that's going to make things difficult from there. He's hoping here to at least get this to tap in range, but it is for birdie. Nope, that'll be short, maybe by a good 10 feet. This from about 10 feet. Okay, it won't be a third straight birdie, but it is a fine putt there to save par. Heading now to the 359-yard par 4-7. Accuracy off the tee is critical. Best line is a little left of the flag on the 11th green. Biggest issue here is avoiding the shell bunker short of the putting surface. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Good chance at one.
That ball was always heading a little bit right, but inside 10 feet, that's nothing wrong with that on this hole.
Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Yeah, walk that one right in. That's a good putt. And it's in for a birdie. Right now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's scored short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green. Often you see long birdie putts here.
And that will miss off to the left and wind up in the short grass. A little short-sided here, left of the green for his second. I think I'll be fairly pleased with that, Frank. What do you think?
I certainly do. It was so good.
Disappointment there. We'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Frank, the old course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the 9th hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided are the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
Oh, this is going to be way down there. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. That one just lacking a little bit of pace, but not bad at all from there. Chance now to make the turn with some momentum for birdie. Not much more than a tap in there. It is a birdie at the 9th. That'll mean this is a 32 on the front, 4 under par. Starting off the backside here at St. Andrews with the 340-yard par 4 10th, named in honor of the great Bobby Jones, 1927 Open champion and 1930 amateur champion. Right center off the tee, ideal here. The fairway narrows around 280 yards, but the green is drivable. That sets up for a lengthy putt here on number 10. One feature of so many of these older British courses, the oversized greens, and this, a long look for eagle. Oh, that is a good judge of speed right there. Expertly done. Okay, so the risk pays off. He drives this par 4, and from there, 2 putts get it done. That's a birdie. Frank, number 11, the Eden, is really one of the more fascinating holes in all of golf.
Yeah, the 2 bunkers that the players normally worry about, Strath bunker in the front and the Hill bunker to the left. What makes those 2 bunkers so difficult is the steepness of the faces in them.
Boy, just far too strong with a tee shot there, and this winds up flying the green. Now, from below the green, a second up to this par 3. "11 feet away." Okay, nicely done. Birdie streak ends at 2, but this at least will be a par. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well-strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
That's a big lash. He might be able to cover this. Oh dear, that looks thick in there. Pretty shaggy lie here as he'll try to muster up something for his second. Okay, so good work there to get this back out into the short grass.
And really, this is not a bad spot to be, just a little short of the green. Certainly not out of the question to get away with a par.
Boy, nothing seems to faze this guy. He's been rock solid all round long, and he comes away with a par. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play, power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. You can take those coffins out of play. That's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle. Then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of this green.
And this, a tee shot that fits the eye, and that'll be just fine. Second shot straight ahead, and we go to Iona Stephen.
121 yards is the number we're looking at. Pin, front right. It's a sneaky one.
Oh, that was a good strike. Took it straight at it, too. That one bounce and check. Well played.
Okay, that nothing more than a tap, and that's how this round has gone. Just a sensational display so far. You know, of course, is old when instead of white out-of-bounds sticks, they have an out-of-bounds wall, and that's on the right. So most players are taking it down that left side, that landing area, and this again how you know, of course, is old. It has all these wonderful little names. It's known as the Elysian Fields. Oh, and that just did not want to settle. It'll wind up rolling off the fairway and into the heavy stuff. Boy, that's really a good job right there to advance that ball down the fairway. That came out pretty clean, Frank.
Yeah, clean as a whistle, and now actually in great shape in this par 5.
Okay, that's acceptable there. He has a 12-footer here. Oh yes, that's the right line, and it's in for a birdie. Well done. Frank, the 15th here at the old course, just a classic example of links golf, where you might be aiming for something that isn't even on the golf course.
Exactly. There's a nice line there in between the two humps that you can see in front of you off the tee. If you keep looking down, you'll see the church steeple. That's the perfect line for the tee shot. Got to be careful with the second shot coming up. You see the 16th tee and out of bounds to the right of this green, and that little pot bunker that protects the front. Too strong for this hole, eh? Ran out of fairway and into the rough. Big hit, though.
So from the rough, Iona's down there.
And this is problematic. We're in thick rough on the left-hand side, hitting towards one of the trickiest greens on the course.
I always looked inside that 15-feet circle. Anything inside that was going to be a good shot. So in my book, that's a good shot.
Chance now for another birdie. Yeah, can't take those for granted. Good concentration there, and it's in for a birdie. Now another par for the 16th, Frank, and another hole where precision off the tee is going to be paramount.
Yeah, the norm off the tee is really to avoid a series of 3 bunkers called the principal's nose. I never really figured out why they're called that, but it's not the place to be, that's for sure. Stay short of those is the safe line, and then a little pop bunker once again in the front left of the screen called the wig. That's also to be avoided. Another difficult green. Looks a little simpler from the fairway, but miss your mark with the yardage and you'll pay a premium.
Everything flowing really well right now. Coming off 3 birdies in a row. Here's another solid tee shot as well. So now from just 76 yards away, here's his second.
Had to take the boxing gloves off on that one. No touch whatsoever, and this is a long, long putt coming back.
Yeah, that's a nice putt. Getting it there up the hill was half the battle. This got there just a little wide of the mark. Good round going, -7. Frank, so many famous landmarks on this hole. The hotel on the right, you want to avoid that. The bunker on the left, and then the stone wall beyond the road.
Yeah, there's all those features. It is one of the reasons why no one would be allowed to design a hole like this today. It also makes it not only unique, but I think that's the greatness of the hole, is that all those problems you're very aware of. It's just, can you avoid them? Bogey at the last and found the rough here. That's going to be a little bit of a shock on the momentum because it's going in the wrong direction.
Getting set for his second shot here at 17. Let's see if he can finish with a good one. This ball in the rough, but a pretty good lie.
That's a good shot out of the rough. Really controlled the lack of spin out of the grass. Ball didn't jump either, so did not go over the green.
Subscribe.
Now this for another birdie.
And not a particularly demanding putt here. Maybe slightly down an incline, but it is dead straight.
Nah, that's going to wander off to the right and leave maybe 2-3 feet coming back. That so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Well, this is when you just want to soak in. Pull out your phone, take some pictures. The R&A clubhouse in the distance. It is not a long hole by any stretch, just 357 yards, and it's wide open. The Valley of Sin, maybe you drive it down there. when you walk over the Swilcan Bridge, you're going to stop, you're going to take some pictures, you're going to tuck those away for a long time. This is a special finishing hole. It's not just a hole, it's an experience. Yeah, all about hitting the fairway here, and that is right where you want to be. Good chance to get one in close from here. This is second. Okay, not particularly close, but a chance for the putter to do its thing. A long one coming up here for birdie.
Subscribe.
Got it there, but not quite on target. So a tap in there, that's for par at the last, and that will mean it is a round of 65, 7 under par, absolutely terrific. Well, that about wraps things up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Enjoyed it, Frank?
Certainly did, Rich. Once again, the golf course provided more than a stern test.
And for the entire team, I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time.